$15,000. Divide that by 10 hours. Yep. Bro, you guys made $1,500 an hour on like probably one of you guys' not so biggest deal. Yo, what up, gang? We are in the town of Webster, Massachusetts right now, on my way to a wholesale deal that we wholesaled about a couple months ago. We're checking out to see what the buyer did to the property. We already closed on the front end of it, so we already got paid. Now the buyer is about to get paid, and we're just checking in to see how he made out. And you guys will see what a real wholesale deal looks like the actual project itself and what the buyer did and all that. I think it'll be pretty cool. You'll see how much we made, you'll see how much he made, you'll see how we got the deal and all that. So let's go, let's get into it. All right, family, we're in Webster, Mass. I got my guy Earl and my guy Logan here. They bought the property from us. This was what, maybe like 3 months ago?
Yeah, about 3 months ago.
3 months ago. Yep. So lead came in the door. Actually, what's cool with this deal is it was about 8 o'clock at night. And usually my sales team answers the phone. Like we have a Google number that people can look us up on Google and stuff like that and call us to sell their house or us to purchase their house. That call comes in at like 8 o'clock at night. My team is already out of the office. I'm sitting on the couch with my wife and I'm like, it comes directly to our phone and I look at my phone, I'm like, do I answer this? We're like watching the Celtics or something, like I'm like, should I answer this? I'm like, she looks at me, she's like, you're not gonna answer it? My wife is like, this could be like $10,000, $20,000. What do you mean you're not gonna answer? I'm like, all right. So I answer the phone. It was the mother of the person who lived here. So the mother called me. She's like, hey, we heard your ad 4 months ago. And well, she said, I heard your ad 4 months ago and I saved all the information and I'm giving you a call now because my son is unfortunately going through a divorce and he needs to sell his house. But she didn't trust us at all. It was the craziest thing. She was like, you know, I heard this thing that you guys can close without any commissions, but it sounds like a scam to me.
Yeah,
like,
it always does at first.
Right? They always think that's like one of the biggest smoke screens that you got to blast through. They just think that it's a scam.
100%.
I'm like, no, listen, like we close on houses. I can go show you all the deals that we've done in the past.
Yep.
Ultimately, we got it under contract maybe 7 days later. Then we put it out on our cash buyers list. And you guys were literally the only people that came. So my guy Dave in the office, you guys have seen Dave before. He was working the cash buyers and the dispo side of the deal. We blasted out, and Dave had like 10 people that were confirmed to come to the property. Dave's all jacked up. Dave's like, well, we're gonna sell this deal. It's gonna be great. As he's driving down here, this is an hour drive from our office, people are just dropping out. Hey, not coming, hey, not coming, hey, not coming, hey, not coming. And then you guys are ultimately the only people that came to the showing. And we got a deal. So why don't you guys explain who you are and how we met and all that?
Yeah, and first of all, I think it was super funny because we were actually just talking about this when we were on the phone last time, about the first time that we actually met. And the first time we actually met was at the property over in Holbrook.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah, we had just finished a property over there in Holbrook. There was another one on market about, I don't know, like a minute down the street.
Yeah.
And Logan and I, we were there viewing the property, we were going through it, and then we see this guy walking in with a big iPad, and we're just like, who the heck is this guy?
Who the hell is this guy?
And then we ended up, you know, chit-chatting a little bit from there, and then few months, I would say, down the road, we saw your content on social media, and they were like, oh, you know.
Blueprint content,
Yeah, Blueprint, yep. And we were just like, oh, yeah, I remember that guy, and then we stayed in contact ever since then, so. Thought that was funny. I should add that. But
yeah, I remember a quick story on that. I remember I was like, yo, you guys don't want to buy this deal. So there was an on-market deal that I went to because me and my wife were looking to purchase a house, renovate, and move in. And as I get there, I'm like, yeah, listen, you know, these numbers are way too tight. I would never buy this deal. What's funny is when we were on the phone, Earl was like, yo, I thought you were full of crap. I thought you were just trying to like persuade me not to do the deal so that you could buy the deal. And I'm like, no, literally, like me and my wife were purchasing this thing to buy in so we could buy it at a higher number. So I thought that was pretty cool. But
like I said, it always starts there. Then you get through that wall and you know, you figure it out. But yeah, and that was also the first time that we actually heard about the escalation clause too, because that's what you had put in for that Holbrook deal.
Never used that. Oh yeah,
I never used that before. So you definitely shed some light on that one. But yeah, so getting into this project and who we are, priced early, we're a full service real estate company. We pretty much do it all. So we're doing fix and flips, we do full renovations, GC projects, do property management. We have a rental portfolio as well. And we do tenant screening, everything from start to finish, getting projects done, getting properties sold. We do it all.
Service.
A to Z service,
Love
exactly.
Cool. Well, on the way here, when you were meeting Dave,
Yep.
what was you guys' thoughts going into it?
So when we first came here, so yeah,
Did I come on this showing or was it just you?
this one was
I think
just
it was
me.
just you.
Yep, this was just me. So I had met Dave out here, and we were kind of just going through the deal, just walking through it. I didn't really see any flaws with the property. Everything was pretty straightforward. Painting was already done. Floors were nice. It was a well put together house, so I wasn't too concerned about the condition of the property. And then we started talking further, and we actually got into the Webster deal that we ended up talking further about later on. But my thoughts about this one, it was a market that we'd never been in before, so I was already kind of skeptical with that. And I think we both were, just not knowing the area, not knowing really the numbers or the ARVs until we actually dove into it. So once we actually dove into everything, we thought it was a good deal, liked it a lot, and definitely wanted to move quick on it.
Yeah,
So-
you guys put out a good deal, number-wise, for
Yeah.
sure.
So were you guys thinking wholesale, like going into it?
I think
Yeah.
that was the,
'Cause I think that's what we put it out as,
Yep.
For sure.
a wholesale.
Yep.
I think there was two ways we could have. I think we could have done some more work, but I don't think it really would have been beneficial.
Yeah.
know? I don't think there was a whole lot that needed to be done other than just some cosmetics and clean out. So
Got it.
I think wholesale was the way to go. I think you guys hit that pretty spot on
Yeah,
Love it.
100%.
as you were marketing it.
Yeah, and I would say, condition and the area was the things that were just like, okay, these check out after we did our due diligence, but then we were just like, this also has solar. Solar was a big thing. Where it was
Oh
just
yeah, I
like,
forgot about
yeah,
that. We had to
solar-
transfer the whole
yes.
solar. Yeah.
Yeah, so the solar in particular was something that was just like very.
You guys haven't done that before?
No, we
Yeah.
didn't deal with solar before this property, so that was new to us as well.
It's fairly easy though, right?
Yeah,
It was
very,
easy.
Yeah.
You
very
transferred
easy.
it twice. You transferred
Yeah.
it from old owner to you.
Oh,
and
to the new guy
to the
too.
new
Yep.
buyer, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yep. So it was pretty straightforward,
Yeah.
which was good. But just like anything, confused minds say no.
Right.
So once you start to dive into it more, and actually get the real logistics behind it, it was an easy decision.
Yeah, we saw like the solar paperwork. We talked to the company. And
Yeah.
they were like, yeah, it's
Yep,
no
yep.
big deal. No big deal.
Yeah, they seem to be pretty easy with it. I think, did we touch base with the actual person that sold the solar to them, or was it just a customer service rep? that
Tried
you
to get in
talked
contact with them. They didn't answer the phone, so we ended up just going straight to the customer service line.
Yeah.
And they helped out with all the transfer
Yeah.
process.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's great. Well, somebody out there might be like, what the heck is a wholesale? So I'll explain that really quick.
Yep.
A wholesale is just pretty much closing on a property. You can either use your own cash or go raise the capital somewhere else. And you are now the actual owner. You maybe clean it up, maybe put tops $5,000 to $10,000 or maybe no money at all. And then you just immediately put it back up on the market. That's what these guys did.
Yep.
Probably took them maybe 3 weeks or so
Yeah.
to get it turned around and put it on the market. And now it's on the market. And tomorrow's closing day.
Tomorrow's closing day.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
Tomorrow's
Well, let's
closing
go.
day.
Let's go check out the property.
Beautiful.
Hey.
Correct.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we
yeah.
have that FHA buyer. Even though we were done in a week or two,
Yeah.
we still had to wait 3 months to actually have the closing.
So you guys sold it to an FHA buyer.
We did. Yep.
Yeah, got it.
So
So
we
that,
had to wait, but I mean, it's
yeah,
only another month or so, right?
Yeah.
yeah, it ain't bad.
No, not at all.
So there's a rule. If you're selling to an FHA buyer, you cannot sell it to them before 90 days, or else they won't get approved for the loan. So the FHA loan companies are like, hey, you got to wait 90 days to buy the house if you were the borrower in order to close on it, because they call it like the flip rule or something
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
Interesting.
Always have to be mindful of it.
Interesting.
No matter how
always
quickly you
forget
move, you always have to be mindful of it, because you can finish a project in a month. But if it's priced for an FHA buyer, you got to keep that into consideration.
Makes sense.
It's a nice house, though. It really, most of this house was pretty much put together, man. I mean, from appliances to, countertops, everything is pretty much the way it was when they left.
Yeah.
You know? The main things that we did was we went through the whole house and painted everything.
Mm-hmm.
Same colors, didn't even change a single color in the whole entire house, and that was probably the main thing aside from the stairs. So
Makes a difference though.
it does.
Absolutely.
It makes
Same-
everything
same
kind of
with
pop.
Webster.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like that deal we're doing right now, bro. When I looked at the videos, I'm like, bro, this is a whole different property. We put maybe $3,000 into painting.
Yep.
It's pretty crazy.
Yep.
Interesting question. What made you guys not add this, or I guess kind of turn this into another bedroom?
That's a great question. I think at the end of the day, the layout obviously of the town is a 3-bed, 1-bath. So we didn't want to cut this off and.
Wait, on town record, it's 3-bed, 1 bath?
Yeah.
Oh, so you guys were able to list it as a 3-bed, 1 bath
Yep.
because there's only 2 beds upstairs.
Correct.
Yep. So they
That's
turned
smart.
this into a pantry.
Yeah.
So when they did that, we were like, all right, I mean, we could go through this, make that a closet, close this off. We were like, somebody that buys it might only need 2 bedrooms. They might want a pantry and a dining room.
That's genius.
So we didn't want to turn
Yeah.
it over and shoot ourselves in the foot,
Right.
essentially.
Yeah, because
Right.
I remember that when we were looking at this, because it must have been a bedroom before. That's why it's a
Yeah,
3-1 on
exactly.
public record.
Yep.
But as long as it's a 3-1 on public record, you can list it as a 3-1, and that is what it
Yeah.
is, and let the buyers do what they want.
Right.
That's genius. Because I was thinking about maybe, because we were considering wholesaling it ourselves too, but when we were like, it was like an hour away from the office, we decided not to. But we were going to change these doors,
Yep.
add a closet, just make this an official bedroom.
Yep.
But I like you guys' idea better. Kind of let the buyers
Yeah.
handle it.
I will say, though, a lot of feedback was small bedrooms. So a lot of buyers, because we had probably, 4 offers right when it hit the market. We
Yep.
were at
Really?
345, I think, total on the purchase price
Yeah.
at the beginning. And I think we had 3 offers before we even had an open house.
Really?
Yeah, they weren't the strongest of offers, so we kind of pushed them away when we probably shouldn't have pushed them away. We probably should have taken the offers that were in our hand in the beginning, but
I've been there.
you know, we got a little greedy on the front, thinking, hey, we got so many offers up front, let's just wait till open house, see what we get.
Mm.
And the activity was fantastic. We could definitely see it trickling down after that first open house.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But luckily, we still had people that were coming and submitting offers, but at the end of the day, the bedrooms were a big factor.
So the first offers that came in, were they higher than the ones that you guys accepted anyway?
They were.
Yep.
But they just weren't as strong.
Yes, so I think we had one, the first one I think was 10,000 over ask.
Oh,
But
dang.
they wanted,
Yeah.
I
It
think
was,
like 10,000 in closing credits. So they were just at asking,
Yeah.
which would have been better than what we took,
Yeah.
of course, you know. So we definitely shot ourselves in the foot there. Their financing was a little sticky. They weren't putting big deposits down, so their terms were very minimal. So we got a little nervous and was like, are they going to be the right buyer for us?
Yeah.
So we kind of let it slide, which was 100% our fault.
Yeah. Makes sense. I've been there, bro.
Yeah.
I did.
Live and you learn.
yeah.
Much
for sure.
worse. I'm in one right now where it's probably, we should have taken an offer that is like $45,000 more than we actually took. I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah, no, you always kick yourself in the foot about it. I'm so
My wife is so mad at me, bro. She won't let it go.
Yeah,
It is what it is.
it is.
Live and learn. Yeah. 100%.
So it looks good in here, bro.
Yeah, it does. You got your dining pantry, you got your living room area. Floors were pretty nice. You didn't really have to do anything. We just cleaned them.
Yep.
They took the property with everything in it.
Yeah.
As far as this stuff, you know, hub chests, things like that. So painting went a long way here.
Love it. Let's check upstairs.
Cool.
Washer and dryer.
Yeah, that was huge.
Yeah, right?
Having that already there.
Yeah, you guys didn't have to buy a washer and dryer, right?
No. Nope. Didn't have to buy appliances. Everything was all good.
I remember the guy was like, hey, we want to take this thing. I'm like, heck no.
Oh, the owner?
Yeah, the owner was like, hey, we want to take the island. I'm like, bro, it's like part of the kitchen. What are you talking about?
I wanted to take half the kitchen out.
Right? And I'm like, yeah, it's not going to fly.
We were debating on whether we were going to keep it or not, but we're like, we're keeping that. It's perfect.
Yeah, this thing's a beast. I thought
thing's
I thought it was an actual island.
I thought so too.
It's
Yeah,
like,
it
it's
moves.
not. It moves, yeah.
Thing's heavy, man.
A little bar.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we painted the doors, made the doors black, so those were just white before. Main thing, aside from painting, is the stairs. We did all new treads.
Oh, they look dope.
Oh yeah.
Did you guys use the treads that were in the closet upstairs?
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Genius.
Yep, we did, I mean, I think he had to go and grab like one tread. But
Yeah. Yeah, so in the closet, there was these treads, right? Are they still there? Well, in this closet, I remember there were treads
Yeah.
here when we first
Yep.
walked in, and I'm like, oh, bro, you can literally just put those right
Seriously, they had all the material
the
here
stairs.
for us. Just needed the labor.
Yep. Yeah,
Love
I definitely kicking ourselves a little bit if we were just a little bit more patient, but I think we could have gotten
Yeah.
more for it for sure. But
Good deal though, fellas.
Absolutely.
man.
Well, let's talk about numbers.
Let's do it.
What were you guys thinking, like, when you guys are going into it, what were you guys underwriting it as? Like numbers, acquisition, cost to do everything they needed to do to it, and then resale.
Yep. So we purchased it for.
Purchase was what? That was around
280 maybe.
275, yeah, 280,
Yeah.
275, somewhere around there.
Yeah. We banked on having about 6,500 to 7,500 worth of work. I think we did 6,500 worth of work.
You guys actually did the actual budget?
Yep,
Oh,
we
yeah.
stuck to 6,500. We didn't get it, so like our hard money, they just essentially we didn't get 7,500 in rehab. We just used it out of our own pocket. It's just such a short amount of money. But we ended up putting that into it, and at the time, so at a 275, 280, and 7,500 worth of work, 349 list I think was where we were at. I think we were supposed to be around the 30,000 range net.
Yep.
And then we cut it down to 324. So we were at that 14, 15 net number.
So like $15,000 in net profit?
Yep.
Net profit for 2 weeks worth of work.
Think about like how many hours you actually put into the deal.
Yeah, it was like 2 appearances here.
Very, very minimal.
If you could really think about it, like how many hours do you think you put into this deal?
The most time spent here?
10?
Yeah.
10 to 12 hours, maybe max.
So the company itself, priced early companies, put 10 hours worth of work.
Probably just about that, yeah.
And this isn't a banger deal, right? Like this is just a quick, easy
Yep.
type of deal. This is you're pretty much wholesaling to an end buyer,
Yep.
right? When you wholesale, you're just selling the contract. It's a quick, easy deal. This is pretty much the same thing for flippers, but it's like, if you can price it the right way, and like we were talking outside, give somebody a cheap product in this market where everybody's hurting, everybody's like, yo, I can't afford my rent,
Right.
but I can go buy a house and pay the same exact money for a mortgage than I would for rent. That sounds like a better deal to me.
100%.
You guys provided that product to the marketplace, which is great. But if you think about it, $15,000, divide that by 10 hours, bro, you guys made $1,500
Correct.
an hour on like probably one of you guys' not so biggest deal.
Oh, for sure.
100%.
Yeah, this is the smallest of all the deals we've ever done. But that's a good thing, right? Like, and that's how we started to look at things, exactly what you just did. So before, when we first started, we always looked at the overall number, right? So whatever we were making gross to net, right? We just looked at that big number like, okay, if we spent 2-3 months worth of work and we made 30 grand, right? I'm taking that, divided that over 2 months, well, business just made 15,000 a month, right? Because that's our work into the deal. So if we're here for 2 months, we just put ourselves out there for 2 months, which is our time and everything like that, right? So we started looking at that a lot recently this year to start doing more volume, because the more we look at keeping people busy, keeping the business busy, it allows us to get into these smaller deals and still see the profit and still keep the business rolling and still has active income, rather than trying to hit those big projects every single time that are not always there, right? You definitely have to get the smaller ones in between.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
And if you just kind of look at everything on an average basis, you're like, hey, this is how much I'm making per month or per day or per hour or per week. That's great. I think we're probably around the same exact profit per hour, if I'm thinking about it. We made 10 to 15 grand on it, I think. I would say we put about 10 hours worth of follow-up and conversations and Dave coming to the house and stuff like that in order to get it done. So good deal all around. How do the people find you? Because guys, these guys are real cash buyers all around the state of Massachusetts, right? Pretty much?
Yes, sir.
From what, like Worcester to Boston?
Anywhere.
Anywhere. Cape Cod. So these guys are real cash buyers that will close on you guys' deals and get you guys paid on assignments if you guys are out there marketing. I'm assuming, would you guys help people like underwrite and let them know where you'd have to be out on numbers and stuff?
100%.
Yeah, these guys will help you out. So how do people find you?
So you can find us on any of the social medias, Facebook, Instagram. It's all going to be under Price Early Companies. You could even find us on Instagram with our management page. That's going to be Peck Management. And then you could also go online. Our websites are going to be priceearlyrei.com. And then same thing with our property management. It's going to be peckmanagement.com, and that's mgmt.com.
Good stuff, fellas.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
We definitely got to
No.
do more shit together, dog.
Yeah, for sure.
Appreciate the deal.
Heck yeah, bro.
Appreciate the opportunity to do some content as well.
Yes, sir.
you.